Yeah, so now they recently decided that BDRs in our company are going to be joining more on events, so on fairs and things like that, because they saw the advantage of having not just AEs but also BDRs there.
Yep.
And I was wondering how, like, first of all, how do you prepare well? From what point do you start actively announcing it to your prospects that there's a chance to meet in person? And like, what are the steps you can take to make it as efficient as possible on the lead up to the event? Because the event itself is always going to be, whatever happens, happens.
Yep.
But then, like, to make your live and your demos booked and pipe gen, whatever, everything as easy as possible, what can you do as a lead up to an event?
Beautiful question. And I'm really happy to hear that you're going events as well. After this session, I actually have a 5-minute video on pre event, during event, and post event, which I'll do in the follow up email that everybody gets. But to answer your first question of how soon should we be letting our prospects know, I always like at least a 4 to 6 week lead time before the event, right? Because what I typically see is a week or two before the event, then people start posting meet us at booth, blah, blah, blah. We're going to be there. It's too late. They've been seeing stuff from other people, but just something to the effect of, I'm attending this event. This is a reason that we're going. Would love to have a discussion with you. So that could be one post, but there's another way that we could do this as well. I was working with a really cool SDR called Gavin, who worked in the world of infrastructure as a service, right? And Gavin was going to something called Gamescom. So, the gamers, developers that create all that cool stuff like Grand Theft Auto and all of that. But what he said to me is like, Neil, these events are very taxing and stressful and tiring, people travel and all of that. So he had this idea of, here are 5 ways to survive Gamescom. So he was giving advice to his LinkedIn network of how to use the metro system, tips about the hotel, what to do when at the event. Also, another tip was for those that are neurodivergent, if you find it very stressful or overwhelming talking to lots of people, take little breaks. That post in itself performed higher than just the we're going to be at booth, blah, blah, blah. So think about a way that you can teach your prospects. And then the follow up to that, Kiani, is if you find like a target that you're going for and you connect with them on LinkedIn, they accept. And then you have a post of, hey, I've got this free guide of how to survive the upcoming event. Do you mind if I share it with you? And that can be a nice icebreaker using your post, but using it as a follow up in the DMs. So that's question number one. How soon should we be doing? Sorry, what was question number two?
Yeah, just how to actively start mentioning it in calls or convince people to also, if they join the event, to come see you, things like that, how you can prepare as well as possible.
Yeah, 100%. So, one thing I would highly recommend in your email signature, if there's any sort of social images, put that in. Also, any prospect that I'm speaking to today, so imagine you were my prospect and we didn't move forward, I could then say in the conversation, by the way, there's an event coming up this time round at this day. Are you or your company going to that event? And they may say yes, and then you could position it as, be great to meet you, we're going to be there. If they say no, then you could ask them, is anybody in your company going on your behalf? And maybe there's an additional stakeholder that you can get into that. And yeah, maybe even revisiting your closed lost if it's in the region, just to say, hey, we're at this event. Here's a reason to meet us. We can give updates and stuff like that. So those would be ways. So in your conversations, in your calls, in your closed lost, and maybe to take it a step further, me and Matt were talking about this on how to up your Q2 with your networking. Revisit your LinkedIn DMs. Are there any conversations that have died? And could this be a reason to give them an update or reach back out to them? Does that help?
Yes, thank you.
Okay, cool. Has anybody else got any advice on eventing, on events, best practices? Well, please let us know.